OpenDrive offers unlimited storage for $10 a month, and Google and Dropbox charge the same price for just 2 terabytes. So why isn't everyone using OpenDrive, you ask? Well, I spent weeks finding out. I uploaded terabytes of data, I stress tested the sync, I read their entire privacy policy, and what I found explains why the service has such a love-hate relationship online. There is a hidden limit that kicks in at a very specific number. There is a file naming issue that's been breaking syncs for years. And there's one security feature that's locked behind a paywall most people don't really even know about. So let's get into it. OpenDrive really is a lesser-known cloud storage service. You probably haven't even heard of it unless you've been hunting for cheap unlimited storage in the last few months. And more on that on the word unlimited later, because that's a term that is misused and used a lot in the cloud storage space, and it's not what you think. What makes this service stand out, you ask? Well, it is the virtual drive. It really mounts right into your computer. Think of it like plugging in an external hard drive, except the drive is up in the cloud instead of like cluttering your desk with files that you don't need anymore. And next up, something that actually surprised me. OpenDrive lets you share your account with multiple users. On the paid plans, you can add up to 4 people. Same account, same unlimited storage, no extra cost. What is going on here? Try doing that with Google Drive or Dropbox, and you can't. I mean, you can share the same credentials, but there's 2-factor authentication, and it's really cumbersome to really share an account with these security settings these days. So if you've got a family or even a small team, this is genuinely good value, right? And next, we have media streaming. You can upload a video to OpenDrive and share your streaming link. Your friends click it, and the video plays, so there is no download required. And the same thing with audio files. So if you're a content creator sharing rough cuts with clients, or you just want to stream your music library from the cloud, this actually works pretty well. It's not going to replace YouTube, obviously, but for private sharing, for the occasional video, it's pretty solid. I promise you that we're going to talk about synchronization and also backup options. So check this out. If I head here into the settings, OpenDrive lets me choose between one-way sync and 2-way sync, and also something called continuous backup. So I can also schedule backups to run hourly, to run daily, or only when I trigger them manually. And there's even these little custom filters, so I can include or I can also exclude files based on the type, right? Say I want to back up only documents, but skip video files. OpenDrive can really do that. In this regard, it is actually more flexible than I expected. And here's where it gets a little bit weird though. OpenDrive also tries to be a productivity suite. They've built in a Notes app and a task management tool, and on paper, that sounds great. But in practice, well, not so much. I mean, look at this, right? The Notes app can't even bold text, right? There are no font options. There's literally nothing. The task manager here is a bit more useful. I can assign tasks like this, set priorities here, and also add due dates like so. But how many notes and tasks you can create depends on your plan. So free users get 5 notes. Wait a minute. 5? It feels like these features were like added years ago, and then some developer has really forgotten about it. And then, I mean, 5 notes, that's nothing. So anyway, that's the feature rundown, just real quick. Some genuinely useful stuff, right? And as you see, some really half-baked extras. Why would anyone choose OpenDrive? It's price, right? Let me break down what you actually get for your money. Can you get it for free? Yes, you can get OpenDrive technically for free, but the free plan is so limited, you really won't get much done with it. You can get 5 gigabytes of storage and 100 megabytes upload cap. So basically, it's a demo, right? It's not a free plan, it's a demo. The paid plan most people go for is obviously the personal unlimited. It's $9.95 a month, or if you pay yearly, it drops to $99 a year. And that yearly option saves you 17%. So it's worth calling out, it's worth committing to a little bit of a longer period. Business users get 2 unlimited options. There's the business unlimited plan, $29.95 per month, or $299 yearly. And then you've got the reseller unlimited at $59.95 a month, or $599 yearly. That's basically ones for businesses who really want to white label and resell the service as their own. If you are an MSP or something and you need to offer the service to your clients, that might be an option that's worth looking at. For context, Google Drive and Dropbox both charge $9.99 per month for 2 terabytes of storage. So for basically the same price, OpenDrive claims to give you unlimited. And that sounds like a steal, right? But, well, here's the thing. There is a number you need to know, and I alluded to this number in the introduction of this video. There is a specific threshold where OpenDrive's unlimited promise starts to fall apart. And this is usually with most unlimited cloud storage services, right? They say unlimited, but then in the fine print, there's always something going on. And I'm going to tell you exactly what that number is in a second. But real quick, if you're like the kind of person who wants really the truth about cloud storage like we do here on CloudWords and not just marketing fluff, do me a favor, hit that like button. It helps really more people find out about those honest reviews that we're doing here. And if you're not subscribed yet, well, now's a pretty good time. I put out videos like this every week breaking down what these companies don't want you to know. Let's talk about that magic number. So here's the big question. Is OpenDrive actually good? The answer is complicated. OpenDrive loves to advertise unlimited storage, but during my testing, I found a big catch. Around the 10 terabyte mark, OpenDrive starts throttling you. Now, for most people, 10 terabyte is a lot. But if you're like me, you're like a video producer, I have more than 10 terabyte currently in my NAS account. So that is something that I want to sync to the cloud. And if you're a photographer, if you are a filmmaker, or a content creator like I am, you know the exact audience that really cares about unlimited storage, that's the audience, right? And then you'll hit that ceiling faster than you think. And once you do, your speeds tank and then it becomes pretty much unusable. And speaking of speeds, let me show you what I actually measured. I run the same speed test on every cloud storage service I review. I upload a 5 gigabyte folder with mixed file types documents like images, videos, documents, the works, right? And I use a 1 gigabit connection, but I throttle it down to 100 megabits per second first. And that gives me like a controlled baseline so I can compare services fairly, and then I run it against the full unthrottled connection to see how each service performs when you remove the bottleneck. So how did OpenDrive do in the speed test? Well, here it goes, right? On the throttle connection, uploading 5 gigabytes took 17 minutes and 9 seconds, and downloads came in at 13 minutes and 5 seconds. So for comparison, Google Drive and Dropbox both average around 7 minutes for uploads and downloads on the same test. So OpenDrive is more than twice as slow right out of the gate. On the unthrottled gigabit connection, I expected OpenDrive to catch up, right? Unfortunately, it didn't. Uploads took about 16.5 minutes, downloads took around 9 minutes, and the speeds jumped around a lot, like sometimes hitting 10 megabytes per second, sometimes dropping to 1.5, so super inconsistent speeds, right? So whether you're on a slower connection or on a fast one, like OpenDrive lags behind the big players, and that inconsistency, if you're working with large files regularly, it's really, really going to frustrate you. But let's go back to that word again. And as you can see, we really have to cover the bases here. Unlimited. What does it really mean here? So in practice, it means you can keep uploading, but the experience changes as you grow. They have what most unlimited providers quietly have, a fair use policy. Oh, how much do I love this word, right? Basically, if you're using way more storage than the average customer, they reserve the right to just like slow you down. For OpenDrive, that's the line in the sand, which is pretty much 10 terabytes. So is it unlimited? I mean, technically yes, but for power users, it's probably not what you are expecting. Now let's talk about the apps, because this part is also a mixed bag. The desktop experience is one of OpenDrive's biggest strengths, right? You mount it as a virtual drive and boom, right? It sits on your computer like any other disk. I can drag files, I drop files, I open folders. It all feels super natural, like working with a real external hard drive. But then I opened the web interface and oh my God, it feels so outdated. I tested the service, I think 10 years ago for the first time, maybe 12. I don't even remember. It's been quite a long time. Probably you'll find like an old review here on the channel if you dig deep, right? And it really hasn't changed. So it's literally straight out of the 2000s. It's unusable, sure. I mean, at least from modern standards, you can like click around and get things done, but it's not a pleasant experience. The mobile app, I mean, I think does a little bit better. I can browse my files, right? I upload photos or I can upload music, but here's what's missing. There's no automatic photo upload. And that's the #1 feature people expect on a phone, right? You know what does have an automatic photo upload? Pretty much every other cloud storage service I've reviewed on this channel. Compared to OneDrive's clean photo backup or Google Drive's like tight link with Google Photos, OpenDrive's mobile app feels half-finished at best, but here's what really made me nervous. When I started reading what actual long-term users had to say about OpenDrive, I found reports of files just vanishing, right? And here at CloudWorks, yes, we do long-term tests, but sometimes it's really worth digging through the forums and see what people are saying, because obviously we cannot test services for 2-3 years on an ongoing basis here, because we have to cover like 20 or 30 services at the time, right? And the files, they were not deleted really, not moved, they were just like gone. And I'll share what I found after we cover security, because that context matters. So stay tuned for the rest of the video. All right. Let's talk security. You know me, I'm obsessed with this stuff. I'm the guy who reads privacy policies for fun on a Friday night. So what does OpenDrive offer? Your files get AES 256-bit encryption at rest and TLS SSL in transit. Standard stuff, right? Nothing special. But here's the kicker. There is no client-side encryption by default. That means OpenDrive can technically peek at your files if they wanted to. Now, they do offer something called secure files. It's a zero-knowledge folder where only you hold the keys, and OpenDrive can't see what's inside. And that sounds great, right? Well, yes, but there's a catch. You need the paid plan to get it. So if you're on the free plan, your files aren't as private as you might think, and you also get the file version. And accidentally, you've deleted something? Well, you can just restore it. But here's the annoying part. You might need to enable it manually. Let me show you how. Well, here it is, right? You go into the settings, you click on this tab right here and toggle, very important, file versioning on. Not sure why they just don't turn this on by default, but I mean, there you go. File sharing, also pretty straightforward. Let me show you how this works real quick in OpenDrive. You right click on any file like this, you hit share, and it generates a link for you. Also pretty standard stuff. Want to add a password? Click here, you can type it in. And want the link to expire after a week? Perfect. Set it right here. Nothing groundbreaking, but it really gets the job done, right? Hey, real quick, before we continue, if you want to stay on top of stories like this, I mean, security issues, hidden limitations, stuff that affects your data, I send out a weekly newsletter. It's really no spam. It's just breaking tech stories, deep dives with actual steps you can take, and the best deals on cloud storage that I negotiate directly with these companies. So the link is in the description if you want in. Okay, now we need to talk about the stuff that keeps me up at night. The user reports, the sync failures, the 5-day support wait times. And this is where OpenDrive's reputation, in my book, really takes a hit. Now, speed tests are one thing, right? But what about the day-to-day use? I went through forums and threads from people who've actually used OpenDrive for months or even years, right? And beyond that 10 terabyte throttling I mentioned earlier, well, there are other issues that keep popping up that really worry me. First up, Mac users. I need to warn you about something specific. OpenDrive has file naming quirks. So if your files have spaces or special characters in the name, OpenDrive can fail to sync them. Or, I don't know, throw errors. You'll need to rename files, use underscores or hyphens instead of spaces. Not ideal. Or, I mean, if you're from Germany, I mean, we have lots of special letters. Germans will know about that. It's really difficult to use it with OpenDrive. But here's what really concerns me. Sync reliability. I saw multiple reports of files like just disappearing. I mean, not just deleted, they were just gone. And when you contact support about it, the response times are slow. Like one user said they waited 5 days for a response about missing files. I mean, 5 days? I mean, when your data is missing, that's an eternity, because it can be about like getting a client or losing a client, right? Or finding that photo of your family vacation or not. So what does that mean in practice for you? If you're actively working on projects like editing videos, collaborating on documents, moving large files back and forth regularly, I mean, these hiccups, I mean, they add up. We got other providers here, pCloud, Proton, iStrive. They all handle large files more reliably, and I'll leave you the links in the description box below if you want to check those out. And also speeds are steadier. Sync is consistent. Apps feel more polished, right? OpenDrive, yes, it works, but if you need smooth, predictable performance, the others clearly have the edge. All right, so I've thrown a lot at you, I know. Let me step back and give you the big picture. What does OpenDrive actually do well? Okay, the price is really hard to beat. $10 a month for unlimited? I mean, yeah, ship it, baby. I love it. Pretty cheap if you're a light user. The virtual drive, well, the integration is solid and works smoothly once it's set up, but as you've seen, there are downsides. Speed throttling after 10 terabyte means it's not truly unlimited for heavy users. Interface is clunky, mobile app is weak, performance is inconsistent, large files can cause true headaches. So don't forget the file naming restrictions I mentioned earlier, right? Spaces or special characters can break things, and customer support isn't exactly lightning fast, at least based on user reports, right? So should you use OpenDrive? Maybe, but there's a better option that most people don't know about. It's not Google Drive, mind you. It's not Dropbox, no. It actually respects your privacy, right? So if OpenDrive isn't cutting it, what should you use instead? Look, I could just tell you to go with Google Drive. It's faster, it's more reliable, and everyone uses it basically, but let's be honest. If you're watching a video about OpenDrive, you probably care about privacy, and obviously you know already about Google Drive and you want to look for an alternative. And Google, well, they're reading your files like it's their personal library to train their AI algorithms, right? And here's the thing about alternatives. If you absolutely need unlimited storage with proper security, Sync.com is still probably my top pick at this point, right? Their Pro Teams Plus plan gives you zero-knowledge encryption on everything. It's just not one folder. It's like everywhere. The speeds are solid. The apps work well, and support actually responds. But this is important. That plan requires a minimum of 3 users at $15 each. So you're looking at $45 per month minimum. And if you've got a team, I mean, that's great value. If you're a solo user, well, it's a little bit of a tough sell, right? For true unlimited storage on a budget, I mean, you could look at Backblaze. It's $9 a month for unlimited, hear me out, now it comes, backup. It's not cloud storage in the traditional sense. You cannot sync files between devices. But if your main goal is backing up everything without worrying about limits, Backblaze does that better than anyone. Now, if you don't need unlimited storage and privacy is your priority, you also might want to check out Proton Drive. It's from the same people who make Proton Mail and Proton VPN, so everything is zero-knowledge encrypted by default. We have Swiss privacy laws, and in my speed test, it was fast and rock solid, so way faster, obviously, than OpenDrive. And if you're storing sensitive files and don't need terabytes of space, I mean, Proton Drive is a great fit, and you are in this suite of products. You pay one amount, and then you get all of these products that Proton Drive offers. And I think Proton Drive is really on a good track of becoming the #1 provider in the privacy and security space. Just give them maybe a year or two more, and it will be really hard to beat them for the other providers, right? And then one more option I wanted to throw out there, which is pCloud. It's got the same virtual drive feature that makes OpenDrive appealing, plus lifetime plans if you hate subscriptions. I mean, lifetime is just something gorgeous because you pay once and then you get the service for life. And the speeds of pCloud, and that's why I'm using it here in my studio on a daily basis. They are just excellent. It's some of the fastest that I've tested. The catch though, client-side encryption costs extra, and even then it only covers one folder. So does that sound familiar? But if you can live with that trade-off, pCloud gives you I would say, a more polished experience than OpenDrive at a similar price point. And I have got the best deals for all of these services linked in the description box below. And I keep these links updated with the latest promotions and custom discounts we negotiate specifically for our viewers. And after years in this space, well, we've built relationships that let us secure better deals than you'll find anywhere else on the web. So who is OpenDrive actually for? Honestly, it's decent for budget-conscious users, and if you have light to moderate storage needs, people who can deal with slower speeds and outdated interface. And if you're working with large video files or plan to store more than 10 terabytes, I mean, just forget it, right? The free plans, file limits, and the paid plan speed throttling, they will drive you literally crazy. And OpenDrive is also not the one for reliable mobile backup. If you're running a business and need collaboration features, I mean, truly look elsewhere. Spending just $5 or more per month gets you Sync.com, better security, better interface, better collaboration. And I've got the best cloud storage deals linked in the description box below. Most importantly, if you watch this video 2 years down the line, I keep these links updated with the latest promotions and custom discounts we negotiate specifically for our viewers. So here's my question for you. Have you tried OpenDrive, or are you considering it? Are you considering a different service? Which one do you like best? Drop a comment below, and thanks for watching. And I'm obviously going to see you in my next video. Bye-bye.